You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
All right, good morning. It's 7 o'clock right now, getting us started here on this good old Thursday morning, the first day of August. Happy August, everybody. Is that weird to say? It was weird to type this morning when I was typing and sending everything out on social media and on YouTube and for the East Tennessee weather app. It's always a weird thing. So I did want to start you off first things first. Let's talk about July observed high temperatures, right? So we made it to 85 degrees. Notice how at the very beginning of the month, we were extremely hot. We were all the way through the 17th at or basically above average. And then the 18th, we saw that pattern change, not just when it came to temperatures, but of course when it came to rainfall as well. And so what a pattern change it was. However, things are going to be changing once again as we head through the rest of the week and into the upcoming weekend. All right, let's look at observed rainfall over the last 24 hours. We saw the heaviest rainfall across parts of Fentress and Scott County, northern Morgan County, and then all the way up into Claiborne and Hamblen County. But the Southern Valley just didn't pick up a whole lot of activity yesterday. So we didn't see that yesterday, but we're still looking at more scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. We've had a nice little batch of rain during the overnight hours, and we've actually had some decent showers and thunderstorms that have been swinging on into the area. And that's really been the story here this morning. So still hanging on to some scattered showers up towards Cocke County and also Hawkins County here this morning. So if you travel along Interstate 81 or 40 up over the mountains of East Tennessee, you'll run into some rain showers. We have a little bit of fog out there this morning, not a ton to really slow most of us down. Temperatures, though, are trending much warmer than what they were yesterday. Look at these numbers. We're now anywhere from, say, 2 to upwards of 10 degrees warmer at this hour than yesterday morning. So when you look at the numbers, we're in the upper 60s across upper East Tennessee. The Southern Valley, though, we're in the low, mid, and even upper 70s. Chattanooga's coming in right now at 79 degrees. All right, let's talk about the big picture. So we have a little bit of a pattern or evolution of our pattern changing. And that's because of this ridge of high pressure and a disturbance to our north. So this ridge of high pressure on the far left-hand side of your screen, that's been a giant heat dome. That's been bringing excessive heat to places like Memphis and the Mid-South. But that's starting to edge or nudge its way eastward through the day today. So that's going to bring us a lot more heat throughout the afternoon hours. We're also talking about a disturbance. So we're still going to see a few disturbances kind of wrapping around this this high pressure ridge. But notice to our north up near Minneapolis, we have a big old low pressure system in the middle of the atmosphere. That's going to be heading our way as we get into Saturday. And that's going to draw a cold front through our area, bringing us showers and thunderstorms. Remember, I said yesterday it's going to be a 50-50 weekend. So excessive heat through the day today across all of the southeastern U.S. And that does include us here at home. So yes, the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory. This runs until 8 o'clock here this evening. We also have a level 1 risk for isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. That also, because of a saturated ground and all the rain we've seen recently, could lead to some localized flooding and flash flooding issues. Mainly from Morristown, Tazewell, Rogersville, Greenville, and right around the Tri-Cities area. That's the main impact for that today. So the National Weather Service said, okay, with all this activity going on, we are going to extend, again, the flood watch until tomorrow morning. So all of East Tennessee is now under a flood watch until tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. We'll see if they extend that to Saturday, because Saturday, we're still talking more rain on the way. So here are your weather threats, not storm threats, but weather threats. Let's start you off with the possibility of some damaging wind gusts. Could see that. Then we could see those possible the heavier rain showers lead to localized flooding and flash flooding. So we have efficient rain producers. We have another water-loaded atmosphere today. So anything that develops is going to produce torrential downpours. Hail's not a possibility, but instead of tornadoes, because we're not looking at a tornado threat, I threw heat in there. So I'm going to put the heat in the high category because we are talking about heat indices up to 108 degrees or more just through the day today. So if you work outside, take extra breaks, grab some shade, some water, similar to how we started the month. We're now starting the month of August that way. Here's your Futurecast model picking up on the timeline this morning, running through the lunch hour. Again, we've got a couple of spotty showers out there. We even have a couple of showers now showing up over towards, right around Cookeville, McMinnville. And so these are going to continue to swing on through. So do anticipate some spotty showers and thunderstorms. But as we heat up the atmosphere, we have a lot of energy in the atmosphere, a lot of buoyancy, but we also have some negative buoyancy. And so what does that mean? You've never talked about that, Witcher. What that means is that we have a lot of energy in the atmosphere that could lead to damaging wind gusts at the surface. So again, not everyone's going to get the rain today, but the scattered showers and thunderstorms that do develop could produce some damaging wind gusts and, of course, the torrential downpours. All right, so rainfall amounts just through the end of the day today. You can see how basically from Morgan County, Loudoun, up to Upper East Tennessee has the greatest chance, risk, opportunity. What's the right word here? I'm going to say risk. Due to the fact that, we don't really need any more rain. And, of course, remember the U.S. Drought Monitor comes out later on this morning at just about an hour or so. So about 8 o'clock here this morning. So we'll see what all this rain does and how it mitigates the drought, which I'll show you here in just a moment. But of course, if you're new to the platform, if you haven't downloaded the East Tennessee Weather app, it's a great one-stop shop for getting your local weather right here in East Tennessee, but it also travels wherever you go across the U.S. All right, so lunchtime temperatures, well, maybe not a patio day. Yesterday, the humidity was insane. I'll talk about some winter's adventures coming up here in just a few minutes, but I was outside doing some construction, and it was insane, just the sweat factor. And that's going to be with us today. So look at your forecast high temperatures. We're going to be in the upper 80s to low 90s across the Tennessee-Kentucky border, Tri-Cities area. You come down to the central and southern valley, we've got temps expected to be in the mid to even upper 90s. So Chattanooga, again, is going to be pushing close to 100 degrees. But look at our dew points. Our dew points. This is like just juicy air. Definitely the air that wears you, not the air that you can wear. So heat index values today, again, across all of town. No matter where you live, we're going to be pushing 100, 105, maybe 108 plus degrees across the Southern Valley. So something to kind of keep in mind, again, if you work outside. So yes, that heat stress increases drastically throughout the day today because we're going to have a lot more sunshine in some locations. Of course, we're going to call it partly cloudy, but more sunshine is going to be added to the atmosphere. And so with that excessive heat, that's going to lead to the heat stress. So coaches and parents, if your kids are playing outside, even by 6 o'clock tonight, look at the heat index value. You're going to be pushing about 100 degrees or so with a temperature of 88 and a chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Those will kind of wind down. Heat index value is still going to be with us through about 10 o'clock tonight, right around 87 degrees. Heading into our finally Friday. Can you believe it's almost Friday and it's a whole new month? We're brand new people. But the weather forecast hasn't changed. So again, on Friday, we do have a level 1 risk for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms that are going to be swinging their way through. We also have an elevated risk for some localized flooding and flash flooding. So that's going to continue. Remember, we got a cold front on the way. And we're talking about excessive heat, which is going to lead to heat stress again on into our Friday. But we'll probably mitigate that quite a bit as we get into Saturday, as this cold front swings through, bringing us more chances for showers and thunderstorms. All right, so when you look at your rain chances, they're going to ramp up. Saturday, we're looking at more scattered, more coverage of rainfall across the area. So I think we all have a better chance of seeing showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, thanks to the cold front and this upper level energy that's swinging its way on through. Then we'll kind of mitigate or take those rain chances on out of here as we get into our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. So big old heat dome is going to be heading our way. This is what it looks like on the big picture. Okay, I'm just going to run you through the synoptic scale, the regional view of how this all is evolving. See how these showers and thunderstorms are just going to be moving through with that northwesterly flow. And then as the cold front approaches, that northwesterly flow switches to a southwesterly flow. And that's going to bring the storms up from the south on Friday. So today's storms come in from the north and northwest. Saturday's storms are going to come in from the south and southwest, thanks to those southerly winds. But as the cold front swings its way on through, the dew points will start to come on down. So we're going to get rid of some of this excessive juiciness. I saw you, Buck. Excessive juiciness out of the atmosphere. Not all of it, just excessive. So temperature trend, we're going to be in the mid-90s today and tomorrow. We're going to drop into the upper 80s on Saturday thanks to clouds, showers, thunderstorms, and the cold front. Sunday through next Wednesday, this big heat dome is expected to shift its way back in. So it's been off to our west. It shifts into our area just ever so slightly today and tomorrow, kind of retrogrades and pushes back over to Texas on into our Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it starts to work its way back to the east, and that's going to bring us excessive heat. Now, as I mentioned, the only good news with the heat that's going to be building next week is at this stage of the game, dew points go from the mid-70s to the low 70s. Still a very juicy atmosphere, still tropical-like, still if you've ever been to the beach, still like the beach weather, super muggy for sure, but we're still going to have a heat index value. So again, if our dew points stay in the 70s, our heat index values will be elevated. So next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, back into the upper 90s to low 100s. So we are trending on the hot side. And this may continue all the way through the first 2 weeks of August per the Climate Prediction Center. And so do anticipate some excessive heat. We're going to talk about tropics coming up here in just a few minutes. I do want to take you outside and show you what it looks like from downtown Gatlinburg. And again, we do have the mostly cloudy skies right there in downtown Gatlinburg. Had a couple of showers that have been swinging their way through during the early morning hours. Again, most of those are up towards Cott County. Maynardville. Oh, where'd Maynardville go? We had a good camera here in Maynardville just a second ago. It's not going to load. All right, let's take you to, how about the East Tennessee weather camera? Oh, and by the way, I've got a new camera to share with you. Well, not a new one. It's been with us for a while, but we do have another one to add to the mix here this morning. It is back up and running, and that would be Hardin Valley. How about that? Orange Hat Brewing. Like you can see off to the north, a few clouds kind of building. Not a ton of activity that direction, but we've got a few clouds hanging out with us. So, a nice view of Hardin Valley here this morning. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, we'll talk about tropics coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's see what everyone's saying this morning as we zoom over to the chat. I saw it was somebody's birthday. Happy August to you, says Kimberly. Well, happy August to you. And good morning, Julie. We've got Michelle on here. I saw somebody say it was somebody's birthday. Whose was that? I just saw that. Oh, good morning, Mike. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Rachel. Birthdays are so nice. What are your plans for the day today? Are you working? Are you taking the day off? Do you go out for dinner? What are your typical celebrations for your birthday? Let us know in the chat and we'll highlight that. But happy birthday, Rachel. Hopefully that guy hanging on to you, I don't know if it's your boyfriend, your husband, just a friend, brother, I don't know, but hopefully that person treats you well today. You deserve it. Betty says happy birthday as well. Hey, bud, how are you this morning? Renee's on here as well. We've got Kimberly Long. How are you this morning? She says happy birthday. Happy Friday Eve to you as well, Aaron. Yes, it is Friday Eve. Any big plans this weekend? Anything going on this weekend that we need to highlight in the chat here? Anybody have any vacation plans? I know school's kind of getting back into session. Anybody heading off to the southeastern coastline, Florida? Anybody traveling down there? Do you have vacation homes down there? The reason I ask is because, well, we haven't talked tropics much, but we do have a disturbance down across the northern Lesser Antilles. The northern Lesser Antilles. Where is that? Well, it's down by where I just was. The U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands. But this disturbance, as it swings its way into the Caribbean, has a 60% chance over the next 7 days, per the National Hurricane Center, of becoming a tropical system. The models have kind of been off and on with this system, bringing it up into the Gulf, bringing it along the southeastern coastline. Still a long ways away, but we're going to be watching that closely. Florida and the Gulf of Mexico and the southeastern coastline could be dealing with some tropical weather, possibly over the next 7 days. So something to keep in mind. Let's see. It is. Is this drought gone yet? Well, we'll see what happens at 8 o'clock this morning, Buck. When the U.S. Drought Monitor comes out, I'll post that to social media. But I would imagine that all this rain is definitely going to mitigate a ton of the severe drought. Speaking of which, I'll highlight that here and show you what the current drought situation is. So there we go. That's our current drought. We still have the severe drought from Morgan, Cumberland, down the I-75 corridor to Chattanooga. A little bit of an extreme drought up towards Cott County and Greene County, as well as the eastern sections of Hamlin County. We saw abnormally dry conditions, so we saw some improvements from Maryville, Pigeon Forge, Dandridge, Tazewell, up along the Tennessee-Kentucky border from the previous week. And I would imagine that this changes quite a bit. Maybe not for Chattanooga, because when you look at your rainfall over the last 7 days, who's got the most rain? Well, Chattanooga over the last 7 days, the Southern Valley has not gotten a whole lot. But places like Fenchurch County, Knox County, up in Hawkins, Hancock, Claiborne, Greene County, those are the areas that have seen excessive rain. So we go back to the U.S. Drought Monitor, and you can see from Morristown to Newport and Greenville, I would imagine that severe and moderate drought probably gets taken away to maybe just abnormally dry conditions, the yellow shaded area. And again, you come down to Knox County, Oak Ridge. I think Oak Ridge, Knox County will mitigate that. So where we do have the abnormally dry conditions, or excuse me, this moderate drought from Oak Ridge through Knoxville, Lenore City up towards Scott County, I would imagine that probably gets taken away altogether. I think the severe drought will continue to hang strong, probably from Bradley County, Hamilton County, maybe Southern Ray, Meigs, and McMinn County. Maybe hang on to a severe drought. We'll see what the U.S. drought does coming up at 8 o'clock. But I think there are going to be some huge improvements. And, of course, the rainfall that we saw on Tuesday and the rainfall that we saw yesterday does not take into account or does not go into account what gets posted with the U.S. Drought Monitor today. That will happen next week. And then with more rain heading our way today, tomorrow, Saturday, I would imagine we see some improvements, but then we go back into maybe a dry weather pattern Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week as a big old ridge of high pressure. Big old bubble of no trouble is what I used to usually call it. Big old blue bubble, because high pressure for some reason on the weather map is blue, for whoever designated that. But big old blue bubble of no trouble. However, it will give us some troubling conditions because we're talking excessive heat. And kids are getting back in school, sports are taking place, folks who work outside. Thank you for everybody that works outside, from anybody that keeps our community up and running on the outside, in the outdoors. Well played, Buck. Well played. Hottest day of the month so far. Hottest day of the month. What about Del Rio? Jesse James, what about it? Let's see what else is going on. Anybody say anything about going on this weekend? Yeah, they for surely have. Remember, Frogs Pest Control advertises with East Tennessee Weather. If you want to mitigate those mosquitoes, which we do, they have a super easy, friendly, pet-friendly, animal-friendly way to get rid of the mosquitoes. And I have it here at my house. They put little buckets out there, and it mitigates the mosquitoes. And plus, they don't have to spray. They're not fogging or anything like that, which kills bumblebees and butterflies. And so, yeah, check them out. Frogs Pest Control, local company. It is raining in Cobb County, so let me take you to the radar here and show you what's going on the radar here this morning for anybody that may be traveling out and about. Again, we do have some spotty showers out there already. So here's what's going on in the big picture. Kind of a few showers off towards, just towards McMinnville. But what we've got going on are the showers that are hanging out with us from Bowles Gap to Mohawk, Baileyton, Mossheim, Caney Branch. Let's see, we've got Parrottsville. So Greenville, Afton, Baileyton, Geraldstown, all going to be next in line. When you look at the motion of this over the last 30 minutes, you can kind of see how it's swinging its way to the east, and maybe Baileyton getting clipped, but Greenville, you're next in line. I'll show you the future cast. Here's our future scan for 2 hours, okay? So this is where the storms are. So when you look at where the storms are, okay, so our future scan is picking right up on that activity. So now what does it look like over the next 2 hours? You can see how it's going to move its way into Greenville. It's what, 7:18, probably within the next hour. Greenville, you'll be getting some rain showers. That will work its way over into North Carolina, probably over 2 hours. But the next 2 hours, that's going to be swinging its way through. Let's take a look at the storms over to our west, get an idea of how those are playing out over the next 2 hours. Again, when you go back to the radar, you can see those showers over near McMinnville. Now we'll switch to the future scan, which happens right now. And this is an in-house product that you can get, that I can get. But this is your 2 hour future cast of what's going on out there right now. So storms near McMinnville, they'll start to work their way south of Crossville towards Dayton, Cookeville area. We'll get a little bit of shower activity here in the next short while. So that's kind of what we're looking at out right now anyways. Tom says, well, back to the sauna this month. Yeah, it is definitely a toasty one, isn't it? And you got to realize, too. So remember I talked about it not too long ago. I said, hey, listen, our average high in the peak of summer is 89 degrees. Well, it's dropped to 88. But remember, July and August are our two hottest months, and now we stick with an average high of 88 for like 3 weeks, I think it is. Something like that. So, yeah, the extreme weather, still August is going to be hot, and I think that's the way it's going to be trending Hopefully we can get rid of some of this rain. We need the rain, of course. I know. Yesterday's rain, by the way, the solid, steadier rain, that's good, solid rain. Didn't have any major issues. Everyone got some good, steadier rain showers. They kind of worked their way through parts of Knox and Anderson County. But don't melt, Tammy. Don't melt. Don't do it. We need you here. It's called old age, Krista. It's called old age. I threw out my back the other day, and I just literally woke up. It just happens. Ask some of the elders on here, right? When you wake up, you're just like, what just happened? I just went to bed, and I was fine. All right, we'll get back to the chat here in a second, but I know Kimberly's itching at the bit. Itching at the bit. It's time to dance, my friends. All right, so today's national holidays as we take a look at the national calendar for the day. Ooh. I should have looked at some of these before I even started. International. Oh, it's Mahjong. I've heard people playing this recently, actually. International I think it's Mahjong Day. It's a game. Who was telling me they were playing that? A friend of mine, I think, was recently just telling me that they get together with some friends and play Mahjong. I think I'm saying it right because I think I did. I literally just heard that word for the first time the other day. It was like, what is that? It said it's a pretty fun game. So it's International Mahjong Day. All right, it's National IPA Day. Any IPA lovers out there? Good day for an IPA. All right, it's going to be a nice hot day for an IPA. All right, Respect for Parents Day. Hey, any parents out there? Let's keep it going. Yes, got to respect our parents, right? You know, so many times as a kid, you're like, yeah, they don't know anything. You think you know everything until you become a parent. And you're like, there's a reason why. You're like, you say, you never want to be like your parents, right? Some of us say that. Never want to be like my parents. I don't want to, whatever it may be. But then you get older, you have kids, full-time job. Next thing you know, I feel like there's so many times that we start doing things as our parents did. Whether that be scolding, just your daily lives, but I think just the parenting aspect of it. But I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? It's Minority Donor Awareness Day. That's a good day. It's National Raspberry Cream Pie Day. So what was it? Yesterday we had National Raspberry Cake Day or something like that. So it must be raspberry season. Do you have raspberries? Is it raspberry season? I don't know. But it's National Raspberry Cream Pie Day. Sounds pretty good. And it's National Girlfriends Day. This one goes out to Erin. I know she likes to get together with her girlfriends, have a glass of wine, maybe some cheese, maybe even some lasagna. I think you said something about lasagna not too long ago. All right, there we go. Those are the national holidays for the day today. Don't let me do that again. Morning, Kat. How are you this morning? Kat says, happy birthday, Rachel. You're going to be at work. Boo. It's okay. My wife worked on her birthday as well. Let's see. Today is the 1st, right? Today is the 1st day of August. Tomorrow's the 2nd. The 3rd is my anniversary. See what the wife and I are going to be doing. I don't know what we've got going on. Witcher's Adventures yesterday. It was a little bit of an adventure. Many of you know I've been talking about building some built-ins. So I showed you a picture last week. I'm not going to show it to you until the final product. I'll show you before and after photos. But so yesterday was my goal, knowing that we were going to have just some spotty showers and whatnot. I thought I was okay. I'll be able to get out and finish the work. And so I had a cut list. I had to do all my cutting for my trim work. So I'm now on the trim work. Everything's installed, but now I got to do the fine-tune trim work, which is tedious and a huge pain. But here we are. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. Well, at 9:30 yesterday morning, so you probably noticed I didn't have a noon weather hit that posted to social media or anything like that, because at 9:30 yesterday morning for like 5.5 hours, we lost power. I was sitting here in the studio. I was recording and getting everything updated. And lo and behold, I hear a boom. Well, there goes a transformer right down the street. And everything just went shut down. And so I am in the works of a whole home generator. But in the short term, before we get there, I lost power. So yes, East Tennessee Weather lost its stream yesterday. And I couldn't do anything. So I couldn't update radio. I couldn't update the noon weather hit for the daily weather forecast. And so some things just didn't get updated yesterday. 5.5 hours before we got power back on. But so I was kind of a fish out of water, I suppose, if you will, because without electricity, I couldn't run the saw. So I couldn't do my cuts. Without electricity, I couldn't run the paint sprayer. So I couldn't paint. So I took a trip to Home Depot to get the little minute pieces of wood. Power finally came back up, updated the channel, updated all of East Tennessee Weather, and then got back to work. Got all of my cuts yesterday, and then I started spraying. I did, I'm spraying my wood because it just looks better than rolling it or painting it. You don't get those brush lines. But anyway, I started spraying. Got to my last 2 boards of trim work, and I ran out of paint. Because you're spraying, you use so much more paint. It's amazing how fast a gallon of paint will go when you're spraying, or how fast it goes away. So I went to the old Home Depots and made a phone call. I was like, yeah, interesting. Here's something interesting. I called them because I'm in their computer, because they put me in the computer, right, for what I've purchased. So I called them. I said, hey, listen, I'm on my way there. I'd like to get my paint order again. Can you get that ready? And she goes, well, we can't mix it until you get here. I said, what? She goes, we can get everything ready for you, but we're not allowed to mix the paint until you're actually present. Maybe that's because people just didn't show up at paint mix. I was like, that's kind of strange. I'm on my way. She goes, I know. Rules are rules. I said, that's fine. So I get there, and she literally was on the phone, and she's like, oh my gosh, I literally was trying to call you back before you got here. I was like, why is that? She goes, well, we ran out of the paint that you need. Not the color, but the actual paint itself, like a cabinet paint. She's like, we have it in like eggshell, but we don't have it in satin. I was like, well, I can't change just 2 boards to be a different sheen. I was like, thanks anyways. So then I came home, and the kids and I went out to dinner. Wife was working, went out to dinner. Hit Soccer Taco last night. Pretty good place. If you've never been to Soccer Taco, one of our faves. Anyways, went out to dinner. Came back home and had to put everything away. Well, I had to clean up the paint sprayer. So now, today, I've either got to go to Oak Ridge or down to Alcoa, Maryville, to a Home Depot to go get the rest of the paint to literally paint 2 more boards. Sometimes things just aren't as easy as we want them to be, is it? It's your hubby. We'll tell your hubby I said hi. And he's treating you quite well today. Thank you. You're welcome. Good job, hubby. Big shout out to the hubbies. And again, all the parents, as it's National Parent Day. Good morning, everyone. Recovering, continuing, doing okay. The dreary days and rain are not helping. Well, with the pressure drop and this cold front coming through, I wonder how that's going to affect you, Layla. You're probably, I don't know if this hip surgery is going to elevate pressure differences. It may. So high pressure building in, then low pressure comes in as we get into our Saturday. So I wonder if you're going to feel that a little bit more. Good morning. Hey, we are roofers. This weather is crazy. What are your thoughts on the storms today? Can you imagine being a roofer? Roofers. Thank you to roofers who put roofs on top of our houses in this excessive heat. Storms are going to be spotty in nature. I don't think it's going to be like an all-day washout by any stretch, but we are looking at more excessive heat. I think that's going to be more of a concern, actually, for roofers than the storms themselves. But, yeah, I don't think that we're going to have... We'll probably get some activity 18 to 21Z, so probably... Anytime after about 1 or 2 o'clock today, there's a little tiny ripple in the atmosphere that's being forecasted, at least on the models anyways. And that's going to come on through probably between 1 and 2. So anytime after about 1 o'clock this afternoon, do anticipate maybe a few more spotty showers and thunderstorms. Now, of course, we've got a few that are ongoing out there this morning. And so I think that we're going to hang on to a little bit of activity this morning, but I think it will increase a little bit more in coverage after about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then as we get into the evening and overnight hours, we've got this ball of energy that's going to head our way. And that's going to bring us increasing chances for showers and thunderstorms throughout the day on Friday. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I look at the weather maps, this is this is how we forecast weather. So I showed that to you on the big picture. Let me just show you the big picture here. You get an idea. So this is called mid-level vorticity or mid-level spin and energy. It kind of shows you ripples and disturbances in the atmosphere. So when you come down to our local level, what we're looking at, see how these yellows and stuff, those are little ripples in the atmosphere. Promotes rising air is what it does. And so see how that little shades of green right there? I don't want to do that. That's going to give me a skew T log P. There's a skew T log P. Anyways, those little ripples, I think, are going to spark off some showers. But watch how this really increases overnight tonight and then through the day tomorrow. Look at all this energy coming on through. So there's tomorrow afternoon. So I think tomorrow afternoon will give us much more coverage of showers and thunderstorms than today. And then this little energy comes through on Saturday. So now this little bowling ball, see this little bowling ball area right here? That comes through on Saturday. So there's 7 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning Saturday. That comes on through. Once this passes, once this little trough axis, see how these lines dip down right here and down right here? That's a little trough. That's you connect those two centers. There's your trough axis. Once that swings off to our east, then we get sinking air. So back behind it, just like a wave in the ocean. I've said this before. As a wave approaches, the boat rises. Wave passes on by that trough axis, the wave axis, and then the boat sinks. So that's what happens in the atmosphere. And so as this passes us by, that's why I think we'll shut down those rain chances as we get into our Sunday, because that wave axis moves off to our east. And so I think after 2 o'clock today, and then better coverage of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow as the cold front approaches, then we'll see elevated rain chances again on Saturday. So I think Friday and Saturday will have a little bit more elevated rain chances than what we will have throughout the day today. Cotton County schools start tomorrow. Why do they start on a Friday? What's the reason for that? Can somebody explain that to me? I never understood that. Never understood half days. Just go back to school. Like, are we trying to just slowly work these kids back into school? Just put them back in school. They know school, unless they're kindergarten, of course, and they've not been to school yet. Never understood that. So that's kind of a weird thing. Go back to school for one day and then you're off for a weekend. Say what? Whatever. I did get the video in the email. I did. Thank you very much, Kristen. I appreciate that. Also, I emailed a message to the National Weather Service yesterday. And let's see what they say, actually. I had a message on social yesterday saying Speedwell. Did Speedwell have a tornado or damaging wind gusts? And so I actually messaged the National Weather Service yesterday. Let's see if I can show you those graphics that I sent to them. Okay, so this was at 4:48 yesterday afternoon, and I sent this to the National Weather Service to say, hey, listen, I'm getting questions about a possible tornado. So I went back to the radar from the previous day. So this would be Tuesday at 4:48 in the afternoon. And there's an product that I have. It shows you rotation. Okay, so you can see the darker reds. That's some rotation. Then we go to a different graphic and see, okay, well, what was taking place with the radar? Okay, so you can see kind of the same location. We might get some inflow. And sometimes tornadoes can be rain wrapped and don't necessarily always have to have the extreme hook echoes. But then we go look at the storm wind. So this is velocity. So red is away from the radar. Green is toward the radar. And you can see how we have some reds. Can I put my pointer on there? I can't put my pointer on there. But just to the west of Speedwell, have some reds and greens next to each other. That shows low-level spin. And then you look at some other products, and we probably had 70 mile per hour winds in that storm itself, and some rotating storms. And so with that, I messaged the National Weather Service yesterday. Said, hey, listen, just a quick question. I said, I have a question from a viewer in Speedwell. She was asking if this was just straight line winds or possible spin up. and the National Weather Service kind of responded back to me. So I have a screen recording of. I don't think it doesn't play. Doesn't play it. I don't think. It's not gonna play it. Well, anyways, she showed me video, but I can't play off. Oh yeah, I can. I can probably do this. I can't play it. Anyways, it doesn't come out great. Anyways, showing me some storm damage and just outside of Speedwell. So I said I went back to the radar, and here are the screenshots that I just showed you on camera. National Weather Service was asking a couple questions. He said, "Hey, just jumping back real quick now that the storms have simmered down. Nathan and I over at the National Weather Service looked at a quick few archive scans on the radar and would lean towards straight line winds. If you tilt up a few scans, there were higher reflectivities located atop the apparent rotation, suggesting the rotation may actually just be a product of the lobe contamination." Interesting. That being said, it wasn't too far displaced from the reflectivity on the lowest scan, so I can't say 100% confidence that there couldn't have been a quick spin up. I tried to follow the change in directions in the video, and it generally seemed like the trees were laid generally down in the same direction, which would signify straight line winds. I will make sure to pass along this message to others so they can see if they are on the same page. So, interesting side note from the National Weather Service. They're always here to help us out. National Weather Service does a great job every single day. And you can ask them questions all the time. They really can dive into the meteorology of it. They're the ones, of course, who issue the watches and warnings. And of course, if it's just one low-level scan of a quick spin-up, yeah, maybe. But hard to issue a tornado warning on something like that when you only have one scan that shows just a little bit of rotation. But anyways, this weekend your boyfriend's playing hockey in a hockey tournament, so we'll be at the rink. Go Firehawks! Nice. Next vacation event is Jeep Invasion, August 21st to the 24th is in Pigeon Forge. The big old Jeep Invasion. Are we already at that time? Maybe that's a good time for me to buy a Jeep. My wife and I saw one the other day, and we were like, oh, like we were drooling. Because it was just exactly what we wanted. I've talked to Tom about this. I just want an old CJ 5 or 7. It doesn't need it can be a beater as long as it runs okay. I'm okay with that. Maybe next summer we'll be driving around town in a nice Jeep. That would be fun. Ready for some sunshine, but not the humidity. Unfortunately, it's August, right? You hope this weather won't be as hot as it was last year. Can't wait. Or even at the beginning of the month. Oh, man. It's thundering in Del Rio. Yes, you've got some storms right there. Again, I'll go back to the radar so you can see what's going on in Del Rio. So here's what it looks like on the radar here this morning. And I'll throw the lightning on there for you. And we've got, it's not showing any lightning strikes at the current time, but that doesn't necessarily mean everything. All right, I'm behind on chat. Let's see. Oh, I know what you were meaning. How's the eyes after surgery months ago? Yeah, we're about 2.5 months in to just over 2 months. Good. They're good. Thanks for asking, by the way, Buck. I think I told them last time, I said, I'm having a hard time. I think I have to concentrate a little extra hard sometimes, like to bring the eyes in focus in certain situations. Here, having glasses on is a little bit easier to read, but I can still read everything fine. It's like when you put the readers on, then you can see a little bit better, but you take them off, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't see again. So, anyways, and with doing all this construction and stuff like that, the readers go on, unfortunately, just to read the tape measurements. Got to get those accurate. Measure twice, cut once. That's what they say. Doesn't always work. By the way, it's 7:39. And let's see if there's anything going on in the interstates here this morning. Oh, we've got a little bit of a backup. I've got some backups here. Let's show you what it looks like on the backups. So we've got... this is I-45. Oh, we've got an accident. All right, accident right there. This would be Cedar Bluff, 40 westbound to Cedar Bluff. So this would be the westbound lane right there at Cedar Bluff. You can see, ooh, my friends. Ooh, backed up for sure. How far does it go back? It goes all the way back to Walker Springs. It's being backed up. So we've got an accident right there on Interstate 40. But before you get there, these folks have no idea. There's a little bug in here. No idea. They're getting ready to get slowed down, but 40 in West Hills is doing just fine. So 40 in Cedar Bluff is a mess this morning. 40 in Cedar Bluff westbound is a mess this morning. Do travel safely. Ain't that the truth, Jerry? About the same. I guess I could go to East Knoxville. You think that's closer than it's kind of 6.5 does the other. Oh, thanks, Tammy. Try to help you out. Oh, I'm up here fighting the 127 yard sale in Clark Range. Nice. What's up, Doug? That's right. We've got the longest yard sale going on. The longest yard sale is going on right now along Highway 127. And depending on where you are, we actually, speaking of which, for anybody that's up there, we've got a couple of showers. So here's Highway 127. So from Clark, there we go. There we go, Doug. Couple of light showers. He's in Clark Range right there. From Clark Range to Woody along Highway 127, we do have a couple of quick little showers moving through, and then you come down 127 to, let's see, where's 127? So there it is. So I would say between Crossville and I'll say Cold Springs, Pikeville area along Highway 127, you'll run in. Got a couple of showers working that way as well. If anybody's joining us from the longest yard sale. Hopefully I just answered that question, Christy. Let's see. I bet you looked great in a CJ5, Jerry. Seems very, very fitting to you. I don't even know you really, but based on what I know of you, I think it seems to be very fitting. Up behind Del Rio Elementary School. All right, yeah, a couple of lightning strikes out there, but that's about it. All right, so we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms that are going to be heading our way throughout the day today. Remember, we do have a level 1 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms. Could see some localized flooding and flash flooding. Very efficient rain producers are going to be working their way back into the area. We do have elevated rain chances, more so as we get into the day tomorrow. So do anticipate more coverage of showers and thunderstorms. Also the possibility of strong to severe storms. And we do have that flood watch that extends all the way through tomorrow, but maybe extended all the way into Saturday as well, based on Saturday's rain showers as a cold front swings through. Sunday, we're trending drier, and then the heat continues to build as we get into next week. Remember, the National Weather Service has put us under a heat advisory through the day today. This runs until 8 o'clock tonight. Heat index value is going to be pushing close to 108 degrees in the Southern Valley. Whew. Sweat factor goes way up. Hey, happy Friday Eve, my friends. I'm going to send you back to the 24-hour Weather Channel. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning for Wake Up with Witcher. Have a great day. Why isn't that showing up? Hot, high pressure is starting to work its way east a little bit. And so that's going to start to edge its way in, especially into the Southern Valley, which is going to bring us the extreme heat. We've got some disturbances swinging on through. That's going to bring us the showers and thunderstorms. And then this guy right here is going to draw a cold front through our area Friday into Saturday, and that's going to pop off more showers and more thunderstorms. A lot of heat across much of the south and southeastern part of the U.S., from excessive heat warnings to heat advisories. And as I mentioned, the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for us here in East Tennessee. So we're talking heat index values pushing close to 108 degrees. Severe weather risk, we're under a level 1 risk by the Storm Prediction Center. Weather Prediction Center has a level 1 and level 2 risk for some localized flooding and flash flooding. I think upper East Tennessee is where we'll get the majority of the rain. But the National Weather Service has also continued extended again the flood watch that runs now through tomorrow morning, Friday morning. So let's talk about your weather threats, not storm threats, but weather threats, because we've got damaging winds possible, very efficient rain producers to produce localized flooding and flash flooding. Hail's not going to be an issue, but we're talking about high heat up to 108 degrees, and that's why we have that heat advisory. Here's your future cast. We've had a couple of spotty showers and storms already this morning. That wave of energy will continue to swing in, and that's going to pop off some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Those are the ones that could produce some locally heavy rainfall and, of course, some damaging wind gusts. And so when you add that all up by the end of the day, again, don't concentrate on the numbers per se. This is just a model guidance. But again, upper East Tennessee, I think, has the greatest threat for heavy rain and the possibility of severe storms. But at the Southern Valley, south of Knoxville, has the best chance of seeing heat indices pushing 105 to 108 degrees. So check in with the East Tennessee Weather app, the interactive radar, as you track those showers and thunderstorms, giving you past, current, and future radar and those temperatures and heat index values with your current temperatures wherever you live. Lunchtime temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Forecast highs today are going to be in the low, mid, and even upper 90s. So hotter than what it was yesterday. Dew points are expected to be extremely high, and so that's going to lead to that heat index value pushing close to 105 plus degrees across all of town. So it's going to be a smoking hot day. Therefore, the heat stress, because we're going to have more sunshine, increases throughout the afternoon hours as well. Into the evening hours we go. It's 6 o'clock, 88, but still feeling like 100. So it's still going to be really hot. 85 by 8, but still feeling like 96. Then we drop down to about, it feels like temperature of 87 by 10 o'clock here tonight. As we get into our Friday, we do have another risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms and an elevated risk for some localized flooding and flash flooding concerns, as well as the heat. And so we're going to continue to do this again on into our Friday. When you look at the rain chances, well, they're going to elevate. Cold front swings its way through. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. But then those rain chances fade away as we get into our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it's going to be nice. Let's show you the big picture of how this all plays out. Here's the storms that are going to be blasting through the area. Cold front swings its way into the area late Friday and throughout the day on Saturday. And that's when we're going to get those scattered showers and thunderstorms to be developing throughout the day on Saturday. Temperature trend, upper 80s, low to mid 90s. Saturday will be the coolest day thanks to the clouds and the rain showers. And then that ridge of high pressure builds back into the area as we get into the start of next week. Dew points will drop a little bit back behind the cold front. So not nearly as sticky, still sticky. I don't think it's going to be that noticeable, but at least dew points do come down just a bit. But the heat's going to return, and so therefore heat indices are still going to be in the mid to upper 90s to low 100s over the next 5 to 7 days. So a lot of hot weather and stormy weather on the way as well. All right, as we look through the first 2 weeks of August, we're still talking about excessive heat possible or above average temperatures. And that's why it's important to stay in the know with the East Tennessee Weather app, and that's why it's easy and accessible right there at your fingertips. Just go to the App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. This active hot weather pattern, welcome to August. By the way, it is the first day of August. Can you believe we've already made it to August? Have a wonderful and safe day. We'll see you back here for your next weather update coming at noon today. Check back in.